is necessary for any given situation. When we begin to ask these questions, we can have fewer and lesser severe injuries. We can have less structural damages, and we can reduce confusion. Just imagine there's a fire outbreak in the building and everybody's running into each other. You can imagine the chaos that will happen. So we need to be aware and know what are the necessary steps to take. On our own part, you can go meet our HSC department. You can go ask your manager, what should I do? Think about the worst things that can happen and come up with a plan to solve them. So these are some of the things that we have: medical emergency, fire, smoke, bomb alerts, active shooters. Things that we should start thinking about. And these are examples of the workplace, human and natural hazards and incidents that we can actually come across. So I know in most offices, they do these fire drills. And so what happens when they do fire drills? What is your response to a fire drill? Do you run back to take your laptop? When there's an emergency, medical emergency, who can they call that they will pick the call? So these are things that this safety call is for us to be aware and to know the response plan we can put in place. And so these are the emergencies that we need to know about. The equipment. Do you know where the exit is in your office, where you're even seated right now? Assuming a snake comes in right now, where can you run to? And these are things we need to think about. Where's the first aid box in your building? Where's the muster point? And what are the PPE equipment that you are wearing or in where you are right now? So these are the equipment and facilities that we should be aware of. And lastly, this is just think about it, that you should anticipate the worst that can happen and plan for it. Not that we are being pessimistic, but it's better to be prepared than to be affected. Thank you, everyone. That's about it.
Thank you so much. That was a nice one. At least we're all in different places in the industry, different office environment, different field environment also. So this is a nice one. Let's be conscious of our environment. Let's know what we have around. Let's ask questions so that we pray there's no emergency, but in case there's one, we can make use of this. It's nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go back. Let me go back to this. Okay, so just a brief remark from Warri coordinator, which is me. This is to thank everyone for finding our time to join in today, and we pray that as we go on, more people will join us. We appreciate. I know that the president is online now. We appreciate the president, we appreciate the speaker, and our chairperson for this session. Thank you so much for finding time to join. Today is an interesting topic, and for all that are joining from different places, we know that NAPE has technical meeting, at least minimum 3 in a month. If we don't have at all, minimum 3 in a month. They want from a national, the different chapters, Abuja, Oka, UK, Europe, North America, Benin, and all that. So anyone you see the Warri advert, anyone, just find time. If it's physical, find time. If you're around that neighborhood, just join in. If it's virtual, please just join in. All of them, you must see that you learn something at the end of the day. So today is a time for us to share how would I put it now? To share some thoughts, professional thoughts. So there's no way that you will not leave this place without getting something. It's possible you would get something. Today we'll be having a optimizing exploration and production business using cloud infrastructure. We'll be hearing about AI, coding, and all that. So how can we do that? How can we bring it to our geoscience space and be able to make use of it so we are not left behind? I know that the speaker will do justice to this topic today. So no matter whether you're industry professional, academic professional, you're a student, you definitely leave this technical meeting having something to hold, something to take home out of this technical meeting. That is sure. And we have our professionals in the house, we have academics in the house, so we are here to share thoughts, share our professional thoughts, and we'll learn from each other. Thank you so much. As we progress, I know that we will share our thoughts when the time comes to have questions, have observations, share our thoughts. Thank you so much for joining. So I don't know if the president is online. You can. President, are you online? Are you with us now?
Yes, yes. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So back to you, President. Give us the presidential speech. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, my voice moderator. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure once again to give you the opportunity. Technical business meeting is one of our core values. It is a platform where we always have the opportunity to share best practices, bring across innovation and new technology that will enable us to do our business of exploration of oil and gas. And today is another privilege to meet you. So our speaker who is going to be speaking on how to I want to use this opportunity to thank everyone who has been able to join the platform. And I do encourage you all to listen to also in the Q&A session. Let us use this opportunity to learn new things and also reflect about some of the things that we already on behalf of the board of trustees, the advisory council, the executive, and the entire of technical business. Please do enjoy the rest of the session. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you so much for that presentation speech. God bless you, sir. Okay, so we introduce our chairperson for this session. After introduction, we hand over to him. So we want to take me a question. So our chairperson is Mr. J.K. Makpo, the Geo Solutions Manager, Shell, Nigeria. Okay, J.K. Makpo is the Geo Solutions Manager for Shell Nigeria, overseeing geophysics and geomatics operations. A seasoned geophysicist with over 30 years of industry experience in various technical and leadership roles, a mentor to many young professionals, and currently a member of the NAPE Advisory Council. He's an electrical engineer and business administration graduate. He's married with 3 children. This profile is a brief, very, very brief profile because I know EJ's profile, we have to read it. We could have up to 3 pages. Thank you so much. So welcome. Over to you, sir.
Right. That's a good evening. Depending on where you are in the world, I know this is being streamed. I know, Julia, this is not your problem, it's my problems. I know how much it took you to even get me to write a line on this. So thanks for inviting me to the Warri chapter. And I'd like to, first of all, even before I recognize the president, recognize the work, the fantastic work yourself and your team in Warri. I'm seeing Tayo, Lucky, and the other members of the ESCO in Warri are doing there to keep that whole space alive. So thank you very much on behalf of the ESCO and all the other BOT and all the leaders in NAPE. Really well appreciated. Protocols observed. Presido, we acknowledge your chair, acknowledge your presence and other senior leaders in our profession and our industry. I really like to thank everybody and welcome to this technical session. And also Emeka for standing in to come and share with us his thoughts around this very, very important topic. Today we'll be discussing optimizing exploration and production activities through using cloud computing. Emeka works with Schlumberger. I don't want to go through his profile fully, but I think you can see it on the screen. Let's save the time for what he has to share. I think that's where the real focus is. But he's an account officer for both Nigeria and West Africa. And he will be speaking to us on the work and the business that Schlumberger is what they are doing in that space of cloud computing. So working for Shell, I know exactly the potentials that cloud computing holds for our industry. As we get smaller and the industry changes with all having more small players come in, the need for efficiency cannot be overemphasized. And most of the in-house things which the big IOCs used to have, the small players can no more house them. But they need to also deliver at the top of their game. And that is where technology comes in, and that's where computing, both the hardware side, the software side, is very, very relevant. And for the ability for those who are using them to be able to buy them offline on per use basis and then save a lot of cost and be more efficient, getting a hold of state of the art technologies and applications, I think is very important. But I will leave Emeka tell us what it is there. And I'm also using this to say, please, let's put our ears down there, whether this is a business side of the conversation today. The business is very important. Our technical roles are important, but the business is also very important. So let's pay attention to how we can turn our technical skills, our experiences, and our activities into value. I think that's where this really comes in. And in that journey from where I sit, I think our president and our ESCO will do a lot of work for us. They've been doing a lot of advocacy with the government on some of the issues or problems facing our industry. There are a couple of things which I think Emeka will highlight in his presentation, which I think are going to, which are slowing down our ability to on the uptake of these technologies or bring cloud computing to the doorsteps of all those that really need them. So please, President, please listen. We'll be coming to you at the end of it all with some requests that you can help us take to the necessary policymakers in country to help us out. So without much ado, I hope those who want to read Emeka's profile should have seen it or taken time to read it from what they see on the screen already. I think this is a good time to hand over to Emeka, I hope, Gillette.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a good time to hand over to Emeka. So Emeka, over to you, and then we'll see you at the end of the presentation as well. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Warri Chapter Coordinator, President of NAPE, the ICP here. Thanks for this opportunity to actually be with you today to share cloud computing, how cloud can actually help us in our industry today. So let me share. Okay, please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it clearly in the right mode as well. So please go ahead.
Okay, so thank you so much. Just like the chairman mentioned, cloud computing is very important in the industry. We keep on with that in servicing company. By the way, I work for SLB, formerly Slumberger. This topic was actually chosen because of its importance in our day-to-day operations and exploration and production environment. Cloud computing, as you can see today, as we will see today, and I know most of us know, I stand further to even mainstream. And in fact, it's in all ramifications, you can think about cloud. When you think about cloud, you think about data and how to manage this data in technology. Yeah, so as I so much believe in what I normally call triple helix, where the academia, those in the industry, and the government actually try to align in putting some kind of solution to challenges. In Nigeria today, we have a lot of challenges ranging from even data, the way we house our data, the way we manage it, the way we even operate. But I know today that most of the industries are doing their best in terms of optimizing their technology as regards to digitalization and the digital process. So cloud computing refers to the delivery of computing services, including servers, storage, databases, network, software, analytics, and intelligence over the internet. I know we have traditional way we work, but the research at the industry today moving to digital is trying to teach us how to be more efficient, how to save cost, and so on and so forth. The value of cloud computing cannot be overemphasized, but we'll do more to it as we move down. I know we have students here. I know we have also other professionals here. And it's always a collaborative effort in terms of when you talk about cloud technology, because it has to go around the industry in delivering value to us. So today the topic is chosen, and I'm going to talk general on cloud computing and the value it's going to give us in EMP business. This is not necessarily a small budget technology I'm talking about today, but I'm talking about the technology that will actually help us all. And then I can tell you also what we can do, SLB can also do, in terms of making sure that this value is delivered to those EMP that need it. Yeah, so how does cloud computing works? So I just itemize it here. It's simple. We have our traditional way we work, which we will call on-premise. So on-premise, definitely, as you can see, we have our system, our laptops, we have our workstation, and then we work on the workstation. Sometimes we have it in kind of connecting a machine to network. So you can have your server, and then you have your single machine, and they connect to server. This is the usual way we work. But these days, technology has shown us that when we use cloud computing, things will be made easy for us. When you are doing your interpretation, geology interpretation, when you are doing geophysical interpretation, when you are doing your reservoir studies, you are doing drilling to drilling and up to abandonment, you need to get your data managed in the cloud. If you talk about today, people have a kind of different ideas or views about cloud, the security in cloud, and a lot of other things, because every country or company want to make sure they safeguard their data. So how does cloud computing works? Cloud computing works by enabling access to share pool of configurable computing resources that can be rapidly provisioned and released within minimal management effort. So what does it tell us here? Yeah, it's, when you are using cloud, all it means is that you are spending less. You don't need even a computer. You can even work with your phone and connect to a cloud, because we have cloud providers that will actually deliver this for you. So what it means is that you subscribe to cloud. When you subscribe to cloud, you'll be in the office, you'll be anywhere you are at your home at a time, and no matter the size of your work, maybe you have a SaaS so large in size, you can actually house it in the cloud and you start working and seamlessly. You don't need to spend money in hardware again. What you need to do is just get your good network and then connect to cloud, and then you start doing your interpretations and stuff like that within the G&G and the oil and gas industry. So users access these resources over internet, typically through the web browser. I've said that. Then the cloud provider is responsible for managing underlying structure, including hardware, software, and networking. So these responsibilities now is not yours now. We have cloud providers. So cloud providers, for like SLB, where I work, and other companies. They take this responsibility from you, provide the environment, good ecosystem where you work. As we go down, you will see down there we have a normal cloud system, which is the native cloud that you can see anywhere. Which of course Google of the world can show us. But we have what we call EMP cloud system or cloud environment. This is what I'm emphasizing today. So when we get to that, you will see the reason why that is necessary. So users only pay for the resources they consume, allowing greater flexibility and scalability compared to traditional on-premise. Yeah, so when you are in cloud, all it means is that you, instead of you spending so much money, or the company spending so much money in hardware, spending so much money in other infrastructure, these are reduced for you by working in the cloud. And because the cloud providers have taken these costs. So what it means now is that you pay, you subscribe, and then pay, and you do it pay as you go. So if you want to work like 6 hours in a day, you subscribe. If you want to work like 1 hour in a day, you subscribe. So it's pay as you go, and the cost is not it's not much. Now we have different models of services of cloud. Yeah, so we have one we call infrastructure as a service. We have platform as a service. We have software as a service. Now, the infrastructure as a service provide access to fundamental computing resources like virtual machines, storages, and networking. So here, you will find out that when you are working here, all these storage resources like virtual machine storage and networking, they're all provided for you. And then this provides you virtualized computing resources over the internet. So users can also control over the operating system, storage, and networking. And when you look at infrastructure as a service, you think about Amazon Web Services, you think about Microsoft Azure, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so you talk about also the platform as a service. So platform as a service is about the same with the other ones as a service model in the cloud. So platform as a service will provide us a platform for building, testing, and deploying applications. Yeah, so this is meant for building, testing, and deploying applications. And then users can focus on application development without worrying about infrastructure. Okay, so the infrastructure is, is now the headache of the service providers. So PaaS, as it's called, the providers manage the underlying infrastructure, including server. So you can think about the example of these examples like, Heroku as a company, AWS Elastic Beanstalk, Google App Engine. Yeah, so these are what will be obtainable in terms of cloud service models. Maybe I will think that as we go down, maybe you'll be writing down your questions. When we are done, we can take questions and other contributions. So when we talk about the software as a service, so software as a service, as you can also, as the name will tell us, will provide access to software applications over the internet on subscription basis. So this is mostly the one that concerns or is related to oil and gas industry. Okay, for example, like you have the Delphi. It's a service provider called Delphi. So Delphi, if you Google Delphi, you will see it. It provides you access, okay, to your interpretations. Even if you are right from your data management, your geological interpretations, your reservoir characterizations, your well planning, down to production, and in one environment, and that environment is a single environment, and you will now share data within one ecosystem. So what it means is that you as suspect interpreter, maybe another person as a well planner, another person as a production guy. All of you are working in the same environment. When you are working in the same environment, what that means is that a lot of time is saved from your side and it's efficient because this works with AI and the ML environment that will help you in this computing of the cloud and make your work seamless. So examples of also the software as a service. You can think of Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, and Salesforce, as the case may be. Now, within this model, let me not forget that there is a division of labor here. So as a company, if you subscribe to cloud, so what that means is that there is also responsibility on your side. There is responsibility on the cloud provider side. Yeah. So this makes it seamless. This gives you the security it requires. This gives you the privacy and the data it requires. Yeah. So there are layers that can be managed by customers. For example, the infrastructure as a service. You manage the information there as a customer. So the customers are the users. Okay, a company and the user. So so there are some responsibility that's expected to be managed by the customers, and the responsibility that's expected to be managed by the providers. When we go down, I will break it down a little bit so that we understand it clearly. Now, for IaaS, which is infrastructure as a service, the customers manage the information, they manage the access, they manage the application, they manage the platform. So for platform as a service, the customers will manage the access also, manage the information, manage the application. For software as a service, the customer side will manage the information and manage the access. While the cloud service provider side, which is, of course, a company like SLB, Halliburton, Baker Hughes, and those other companies that are providing cloud services, for example. So in IaaS, these cloud services companies manage the virtualization, they manage the physical server, networking, data center. And for platform as a service, they manage the platform and they manage the operating system, also manage virtualization and physical servers. Now, for software as a service, about the same, they manage the application, manage the platform. Especially, you see that where applications and OS are, there are some level of trust, there are some level of security, there are some level of confidence, and so there is a kind of law that will help to make sure that there's confidence in this management as we talk. Now, we talk about cloud deployment models or types. The one we mentioned above is the mode of services in cloud. Now, this is familiar to almost all of us. We have public cloud, we have private cloud, we have hybrid cloud, we have community cloud. Now, what are these? So, the public cloud are services provided over a public network and available to anyone who wants to use them. It's cost effective because the business and individual are looking for scalability and the flexibility. So here is the one that's mostly known by many of us. Okay, so it's maybe you just say that you are subscribing to cloud. This is the one most people will understand. So it's managed, it's a public domain, but managed with reputable companies that very much understand the need for data control and data security. Now, example of public providers include AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and they offer services, different kind of services, as we will see as we go along the line. Now we talk about private clouds. So private cloud, a lot of companies, they don't want their data in the cloud. So what the providers have done is actually to make it private to them. So what they mean is that they will be the only one that can have access to this, to the cloud. So that one, you will have the on-prem. I mean, the cloud be resident in the company, or resident where the company want it to be. So cloud infrastructure is dedicated to a single organization and may be located on premises or off premises. So private cloud environments are designed to meet specific security compliances, like I mentioned before, or performance requirements. So you see that there are certain level of control, certain level of compliance that are required also. They offer enhanced control, customization, and privacy, but require significant upfront investment. So for the private cloud, the company need to understand because you own it. So what it means that is that the technology will be built for you, and you alone have access to that. Then what it means also, it requires some level of investment. You spend more money. But the thing is, you are now at home because your data is not hosted in the cloud. Okay, so but for the public, you subscribe and it's pay as you go. So for community, yeah, so this is cloud that is deployed where infrastructure and services are shared among specific communities. Yeah, so these communities should be government agencies or any other community that might want to actually share data within the cloud environment. We also have hybrid. Okay, so hybrid, for example, a company might not want a particular data like their assessment to be in the public. So what the industry has done is to actually connect through this. When I get there, you see the architecture through AI, okay, and machine learning, connect the cloud to your domain data in your storage facility where you have it. So when you have your seismic, for example, in your workstation, because you don't want it to go public cloud, there's a kind of public cloud, public cloud and private that will be combined together to make sure that you work, and it will be collaborative, because the cloud, some data are also being in the cloud, while those ones you don't want to be in the cloud, you be in your domain, and also you manage this effectively. So I made mention of normal cloud and EMP cloud when during introduction and at the upper stage of my talk. So the main difference between them is that the cloud system lies in specific requirements and use cases of geoscience and oil and gas industry. So that's the EMP cloud system. That's what I mean now. So it's built to meet specific requirements and uses in the geoscience and oil and gas industry. So So anyone that is short of this is just a normal cloud. It's just a native cloud. It can be a cloud that, normal where you have data, maybe in every company, government and stuff like that. You have unstructured data, just like our phone. You can Google, and it's a form of a cloud, But the EMP cloud is the one that is actually meant, designed, the infrastructure designed to suit the operations in the oil and gas industry. So normal cloud, for example, is designed for general purpose computing needs across various industries. That's it. It's designed for general purpose, like I mentioned. It focuses on providing scalable, flexible, and cost-effective computing resources, and may not have specialized features or tools tailored for geoscience and EMP work. That's normal cloud for you. That's the one that we all know. Now, the EMP cloud system, which is the center of our discussion today. So this is designed specifically for the unique needs of the geoscience and oil and gas industry. So this includes specialized software tools and workflows optimized for tasks like seismic data processing, reservoir modeling, and well planning. So this is actually designed to suit you because it's a workspace, ecosystem, a single platform that is designed, for you to do your day-to-day operations while you are sitting at the comfort of your office, sitting at the comfort of your house, and you see yourself delivering value, doing your interpretations, doing your analysis, even well planning, and all you have, within a space that is managed that's managed in the cloud. So it's provide high performance computing resources and storage solutions suitable for handling large, complex, and geoscience data. You see the same thing we're talking. So, and it offers industry-specific security compliance and data management features. So here, as I mentioned, a lot of the countries of the world have data residency issue. So where they have a law that, their data cannot be hosted in the cloud. Is still a subject of discussion today, and even Nigeria here will have somehow that data residency issue. What that means is that there is a law that actually regulates the data that can be hosted in the cloud because of our interest in oil and gas. So, but technology has evolved. Sometimes when I share this idea with many companies, IOCs of the world, the discussion is on security. Sometimes I've asked somebody that you use your phone and you use your laptops and your data, and you have your data even hosted, even your private data, your most confidential data is hosted. And most of the machines you use, or most of the operations you use outside cloud, even the one that you are using, your normal interpretation, maybe networking, you have a network. So since you have network, anybody can connect to you from anywhere. So how do you guarantee the security there? So these are the questions. So the technology has evolved, and it's high time everybody key in so as to make life easy for everybody. EMP cloud system are typical providers by specialized cloud service provider and provide the software vendors with deep expertise in geoscience and oil and gas industry. Okay, so like I mentioned, this is a typical example of the architecture of a cloud environment. So I use this as example. It's called Delphi. Yeah, so Delphi is a typical EMP industry cloud that will actually help to deliver value to you. Some of these values to you ranging from scalability and efficiency, cost saving, and so on and so forth. How do you even save cost in this if you are using cloud? For example, in Delphi, you find out that, like I mentioned earlier, you are doing your work, but all your work are in the cloud. So all you need is a good network. That's all. Have a good network, you can do all you want to do in the oil and gas value chain within your laptop, small laptop, or even in your phone. So that's the way the technology runs now. So this Delphi is a cognitive EMP environment. In this architecture, you can see that, you have domain science and compute engines. You see at the center, which is the foundation. So here, domain science and compute engines. Here, this is where you have the AIs of the world. This is where you have your machine learnings of the world. This is where you have all that you need. It is smart. It is smart. It is digital. It is secure. It's open. And with AI and machine learning approaches that will actually help us. Now, you have a data ecosystem. So this is where your data. You have your data, and your data can be in your office, or it can be hosted in the same cloud. If your data is in your office and you are also connected to cloud environment, for example, using this, you found out that that's what I mentioned before as hybrid. So in Delphi, you can do both hybrid, you can do public, you can also do private, depending on what you want. So if you look at this architecture, for example, you found out that above here, you see that you have all sorts of applications. You have your petrochemical applications. So what this means is, yeah, normal applications you have, like petrol, like most of the tools you can use to work, in the surface. You have your native domain experiences and apps. So what this means is that, for example, your field development plans and drillings, productions, and other applications you have. You connect all of them within the same workspace. And then you have good analytics, which of course we analyze all this here data. So if you look at this architecture, you find out that this is collaborative. It is integrated, and one of the another salient point in it is that the API gateway will actually help you to connect even a technology that is not, for example, Delphi is a Schlumberger product, but the API gateway will actually help you to connect other technologies that are not Schlumberger, for example. So you found out that if you are within this environment, it helps you. It saves you a lot of time. It saves you money. It helps you to have informed decision. What else do you need in the industry? Job that you do, for example, in 2 months, 3 months, and so now 6 months or 1 year can be reduced for you. Why? Because the science involved right now will help you to actually collaborate. You are working as a geoscientist, another person is working as a petrophysicist, another person is working as as a drill engineer, and so on and so forth. So the science using AI here will actually help you to optimize value, for your company. And this is on subscription basis. Security is well guaranteed because this has a lot of security environment, a lot of security regulations, a lot of confidential laws, and it has also a lot of security and confidential contract to sign before this is used, and is categorized in many environments. So the Delphi environment is secure, is scalable, is open, and is fully managed cloud-based environment, providing seamless EMP software technology across exploration, development, drilling, production, and mainstream. So it's not just in a upstream; it can also be delivered in mainstream. Like if you look at PIP, Auger, and so on and so forth, Pipesen, they are all applications in the mainstream, and these are also connected within this space. It is secured, and the data domain is managed by the data ecosystem within the one ecosystem in this architecture, and is automated. So this is an example of the cloud within the software as a service. Let me go down to the next. Okay, So how does cloud help geoscientists? So this is exactly where we need to talk and explain why do you need to use cloud operations. Now you talk about scalable computing power. Now, cloud platform provide access to high performance computing resources that will allow geoscientists to run complex simulations. Okay, so it helps to provide high level computing power that will actually help you as a geoscientist. Certain functions that you might see as complex when you are using ordinary, when you are on on-prem, you will find out that because this is a digital environment, this is smart environment, this is environment where AI works. So it will help when you are working to actually give you scalability. So you can scale your work along the line as you go. So you talk about another aspect of the way cloud will help geoscientists, collaborative window. So cloud-based platform enables seamless collaboration and geographical dispersed teams, allowing them to actually access and work on the same data and models in real time. So you geoscientists, drill engineers, production engineers, so everybody is working in real time and then shorten the time. These days, the era of handing over button is gone. So it's integrated, it's interactive, it's collaborative. And then I talk about data management and storage. So in the cloud, you have a solution. This is, storage solution offer you virtually unlimited capacity. Yeah, and it makes it easier for you to manage large scientific data sets, including seismic and any data. Yeah, like I mentioned, in terms of your data management and storage, you have just limitation of your network. Once your network is good, if your network is good, for example, if it's SLB product you want to use or SLB cloud, what they will do first of all is to actually look at your network and see if you don't have a good network, that has to be upgraded. Once you have a good network, all it means is that no matter how large your data is, you can interpret it, can do this in this same seamless ecosystem. Then you can talk about accessibility and mobility. So geoscientists can access their data application and workflow from anywhere with internet connection, never remote work and field-based. So here, it doesn't matter where you are. That's also one of the very important aspects in terms of cloud. Wherever you are, for example, ordinary softwares. When you import, somebody is in Port Harcourt and another person is in Lagos, you found out that you won't be doing the same job. Or if somebody is in rig location, or maybe somebody is in Cameroon and stuff like that. So when the users are scattered, one is doing software interpretation, maybe it has make interpretation. One is doing maybe reservoir studies, for example. You can work seamlessly, okay, no matter the location you are. Doesn't matter because you are all working in the cloud. So it's optimizes cost also. So how does it optimize cost? Just like we have mentioned, you no longer need to buy high-end computing system for you to work. You don't need computers again. All these high-end computer that are expensive. Just get any laptop. And that laptop will be connected to the cloud. So when you are pressing or operating your laptop, you are not actually working in the laptop. No. You are working in the cloud. It's just a tenant connect you there, and you're working seamless. So now I talk about disaster recovery and business continuity. So here, what I mean here is that cloud will provide us typical robust data backup and disaster recovery solution. And this will ensure that geoscientists can quickly restore data and application in the event of local hardware failure or natural disaster. So when you are in the cloud, you do not bother about disaster. You do not like if there's anything that can make the data to crash, or maybe there is a arson where you are working, maybe the company got burnt. You don't have problem because you are working in the cloud. So with the cloud system, you are safe. Now, I now look at cloud versus on-prem services. See, when I was talking before, I'll be making mention of the way the cloud will help you and the way most of us work now because of maybe data residency in Nigeria, for example. Nigeria is a typical place where we have data residency law. Yeah. So when comparing the performance of on-premises and cloud-based solution, there are several key metrics to consider. The scalability, like I've talked before, availability and uptime also. Now here, the availability and uptime. So cloud providers typically would offer the service level agreement with high uptime guarantee. So what it means is that for you, when you are in the cloud, so you'll find out that there is a service agreement or service level agreement that your company and the provider will actually sign. So that what that means is that there will be a guarantee for uptime up to 99.9% efficiency. Okay, so what it means is that your problem in terms of your machine working or you are working is 99.9% assured. That is the statistics using cloud environment. Now, on-prem system may be more vulnerable to local hardware failures and power outages and other disruptions. I've mentioned this above. When you are working in on-premise, your hardware might crash, and sometimes it crashed, you don't have a backup. Even when you have backup, maybe the same building you have the backup, what might cause your own work to crash might also have affected where you have the backup. So in this case, you are working in the cloud. So that is actually sorted out for you because all your data, all your effort, if there's any ASIN, if there's any bond, if there's any crash, that is in your own local machine. It doesn't affect your work. So your work is in the cloud. So I now talk about data transfer speeds. So cloud provides us with high speed, low latency network connection that can facilitate data transfer. So that's what this helps us to do really. Then computational performance. Yeah, so cloud can provide access to powerful, high performance computing resources, okay, including graphic processing units. And this will also have specialized hardware, which can significantly improve the speed of complex geoscience workflow. So computational performance is also guaranteed because all that you needed through AI, through machine learning, in terms of smart operations in the digital world is provided for you in the cloud. Cost efficiency, the same we talk, you don't spend much money, rather you subscribe. When you subscribe, pay as you go. So you can make a budget for yourself because of the nature of subscription. You already have a managed cost to carry. Now, benefits. What do we benefit when we use cloud? So, all I have mentioned even above are all benefits, but I have to itemize in bullet points because there is a need to preach about cloud computing in the industry right now everywhere in the world. Number one is scalability. Now, everybody want to actually do their work in a most efficient manner. Now, depending on how large your data is, or how large the project you want to do is, you might have a consideration of, can I do it? Can the workstation I have do it on-prem? Yeah, but in the cloud, you don't have fears of that. What happens is that it is scalable. You might, for example, new companies that are getting data small by small can grow, and the larger your data, okay, because some of the cloud providers have a kind of rating and scale, in which case it's pay as you go, and that pay as you go has to do with other considerations like large data, small data, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So, but here, because the efficiency is provided, so you can scale up your data as you go. That cost savings.
Emeka, 5 minutes, so we can go into the question session. Just I don't know how many slides you have left. Just take note of that.
Yeah, this is the next one is the last. So cost saving, and then yeah, I've mentioned that above, flexibility and agility. Yeah, so it's flexible to manage the cloud environment because of the nature of the infrastructure itself. We talk about improved collaboration. So collaboration I've mentioned before. So no matter where you are working in the same workspace, and you have efficiency as well as informed decision taken by all as a team. Disaster recovery and business community, which I've mentioned before, and then enhanced security. So here, which is the fear of most people in the world, the security in the cloud system is actually assured, because it's involved a lot of applications. It's involved a lot of regulations, which is standard all over the world. Now, I talk about data residency. So a lot of companies actually, every nation, in fact, has this. I'm sorry, you might be hearing some noise. Sorry, where I am, I'm in the office, and think they're having a kind of meeting here, but please bear with me. So data residency laws are regulations that require certain types of data to be stored and processed within geographic boundaries of the specific country or region. So these laws are actually meant because countries want to manage their data. They don't want unwanted people or foreign bodies to actually have access to their data. Yeah, so by understanding and complying with data residency laws, organizations make sure that they obey legal and regular frameworks of the country in which they do business. Okay, so there are reasons why there are these data residency laws. One is data sovereignty. Now, the government want to maintain control and jurisdiction over data generated within their borders. That is one. So privacy and data protection. Yeah, so the data residency law is often tied to privacy and data protection. Yeah, so nobody wants their data to be seen, not to be protected. So a lot of laws are, for example, General Data Protection Regulations of the European Union. We also have in Nigeria data protection regulation that provide legal safeguard. So when there are these fears, there are also solutions to the fears. There are also index that will give you, or experiences that will give you confidence that the value supersedes the fear people have. That national security, regulatory compliance, and economic development. Based on economy, every country, maybe they have their data center. They want to actually make sure that they manage it themselves and then utilize it just for the economy of their state. Yeah, so that is all I have. Not all anyway, but because of time, I would rather wait to answer questions so that we have time for other things. So thank you very much, and wait for questions. Thank you.
So thanks, Emeka. I think Emeka deserves a round of applause on the cloud as well. So please, let's give him some round of applause on the cloud for this talk he just given to us. Thanks. I think I should. I will start my reflections on your talk by sharing my experience. Because I think all of us are in the space of what we know or have a good idea of what a cloud is. Like you said, all of us have phones and I know what all the things we do. We know there's a lot going on in the background, but I'll just share my own experience to just bring it home. Like I also support a data center in Shell, Nigeria. Early in the part of around 2001, 2002, I was a seismic processor in Port Harcourt, and I could remember I tell my friends and my colleagues, junior ones now, that every weekend I had to run to the office to come and check if my job was still running on the computer or it has broken down. And at times, I spent the whole of the weekend on trying to take care of things because we were in premises and I had to come down here. I remember a few times I left my family in parties to come and check my job, and I'll spend 4 hours before I remember that I left my family behind. So these days, when I see the young ones coming to in their houses and be checking and processing and working from home, like we're all in this conference right now, it just shows the power and the growth that has taken place in that space. So very current topic, I would say, or development in technology wise that we all should be bothered about. So, Emeka, you spoke around giving us a definition around what it is, what cloud computing is all about generally. You spoke around the fact that it's all around on-demand compute, data storage, and application services. That was really all about. Either you have your data stored, you need applications, but being able to buy it on pay-per-use basis, and that's what it's all about. Then Emeka took us into giving us the different cloud models all around services, either platform services, infrastructure services, or uh, application services. And the types, whether they are public, private, depending on what your concerns are and what you need to worry about. Data residency also guiding which of the choices we make, either a hybrid of that or the community one, which are around the platforms, spoke to us around those and defined them for us and showed us a few examples and some of the major players in that space around AWS, Amazon services, and Azure from Microsoft and all the other ones, Google. You narrowed down to EMP, and the only difference I could see was that the systems are cloud systems dedicated specifically to address EMP challenges. I think in our industry, there are a couple of them which are evolving, and I'm aware as well that conversations are going on to find common industry platforms because there are so many softwares out there using different let's say basis or using different architecture for their softwares, trying to make sure that users can pick those softwares and get them to speak to each other. I think that's ongoing, but I think that was the talk you were given about the fact that there are cloud services dedicated to EMP specifically and the challenges of EMP. I think one of those challenges I also deal with every day is around seismic, the sheer size of seismic for networks and stuff like that. You introduced us to I think that was the essence, to your, I'll call it the sponsors software, DeFi, and what it could offer and the various layers of back engine room which supported that service. It took us through and the strength around that. It took us around also what are the benefits if we go and if we are to use cloud computing and the need for cloud computing. But I think I really marketing to the or singing to the choir, they would say. And finally, you talked around some of the focus areas. You didn't call them challenges, but the focus areas if people are to migrate into the cloud or to take note in the cloud. And that was around the two key ones that come standard for me are the areas around data residency, because of the fact that most of the major providers for the hardware infrastructures are really out of the country, and there are rules and laws you need to be very conversant with so that you don't go across them. And the next one I think which is important for our environment is also around networking. Networking is the basis for this, and I don't know how matured and strong or solid the network space we have in Nigeria is. So, couple of things, and I think those were the summary of it. And why, before I take the questions, which I will ask that those who have questions, please use the chat room or raise up your hand, is I would like to start it off by thanking Emeka again and asking Emeka, can you speak 2 minutes to us around where the industry, the ERP industry in Nigeria, how good is the uptake, how mature is the uptake of computing services, and what are the major challenges, and what do we need to give to our president and all the other ESCO members who are here to help us make the case to government to improve? What will be your immediate response to that? And while you're speaking to that, I will ask those who have questions to either raise their hand or drop their questions in the chat room. Over to you, Emeka.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's always we're always in the country when we have technology. Most times, skepticism are there because most of us down here don't embrace technology easily. And the government also, you don't blame them, because if you come to Nigeria, our main source of income is oil and gas. And so the challenge is that what they consider that if they host the data, for example, in the cloud. So what about the bidding that they normally do? What happens to the money from bidding? What happens to the future of the oil and gas? But all these things, which I call challenges, it's not just in Nigeria. And that is why the providers, like I differentiated between normal cloud and the EMP, like the Delphi, Slumberger Delphi I talked about. You can see that it has security. That security is such that Delphi, for example, is hosted in a Microsoft environment. And so you can agree with me that the Microsoft environment, for example, they have very strict regulation in terms of accessibility to data. So my own suggestion is when I started, I talked about triple helix, where collaboration is very key. The industry stakeholders, the academia stakeholders need to work together so that we can engage our government to understand clearly what cloud environment, what cloud computing can actually give us in Nigeria, the value that I've just mentioned, so many of them, and then to clear them, because their problem is data privacy. Yeah, if they understand that even the government, even our budget, even plans we have, because most of them will handle within internet. If somebody cannot, hack into it and then throw it out there to the world, is it the dedicated system all over the world where all the experts have different regulations and specific security? Make sure that, in fact, in the cloud system, it is the user that manages the security part itself. So we have to make them understand that it's secured. And we have to make them understand that we are losing money if we are not using cloud. We are spending more time. And we have to make them understand the efficiency we have to make them understand also the need to have a cost-effective way of doing business, which will help us so that the money we generate or the revenue we generate can be channeled into more useful means. So we need to work together like NAPE. We need to, this is a very important topic, and that's why I chose it. Yeah. And I tend to also present it in a wider NAPE for us actually to articulate our position and then send to government, on the need for this. And I understand even the current president and the president-elect and the executive are actually engaging government right now effectively. And so that collaboration with the government, with NAPE, and then academia actually help in improving our efficiency and our technology. And I ask the academia here, Dr. Professor Juliet and co, that the academia most times we need to come up and challenge also industry so that we can all collaborate within the same system to make our environment and our society a better one. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You mentioned, I have a question here online, which I think I just summarized for you. It's a question that as we try to advocate for higher uptake of cloud computing, is your organization who are taking the lead and others around thinking of a collaborative way of trying to provide this also for the academia so that they can also have a good uptake of it and be able to also be advocate for it as the industry unfolds, and make sure that even the students that they produce are up to date with some of these tools that are coming in. Is there any plan? Is there any program like that in your organization, or you are aware of in the industry from the computing end?
Yeah, okay. Okay, let me start this way. I tell you that when you talk about AI, when you talk about machine learning, when you talk about cloud, it's a research carried out by people. So especially the academia are always in front of this. Yeah, and so like in Nigeria, I know a lot of companies have extended, things like softwares and other technologies to help improve the academia in terms of their research, and so that there won't be gap between academia and the industry. My side, for example, my company, yeah, there are a lot of programs in place. But I tell you something, academia, there's a need to challenge the academia in terms of taking the bull by the horn. Nothing you ask that you can't get. And, there is this need for this collaboration in terms of research. There are a lot of programs that EMP industry and service delivery industry, a lot of programs they do in academia. Yeah, so like for example, the UAP division of NAPE can actually help to marry these two sectors to make sure that some of these things are brought down to them, and the value is derived from it. So I would say, because of data residency in Nigeria, people don't talk about cloud so much, and yeah, that's the why it is this way. But people like us, we are now preaching cloud and the value everywhere, because even amidst of data residency, there are some companies in Nigeria that are actually using cloud right now. And I know that even NMPC, that they are looking at, they are building a private one, and trying to, everybody trying to move into it. So my take is, come up, our academic, come up, request. And because you see, oil and gas industry, a lot of programs on their head and costs. And challenges, and there are so many universities. There are sometimes they use one or two or five as sample. So most times it's a service industry collaborating with EMP to deliver some of these softwares to industry. And I know, Madam Prof, I know you people have some technologies in your school, and I tell you, you didn't just sit down and those things came. Yeah, there are things expected of you to do. So industries are ready to do this, and every industry is mindful of cost. But I tell you, they are ready to do that. Thank you.
Okay, so I think okay, go ahead, Prof.
Okay, where it's not too clear. You try to answer the question, but it's not too clear. But you need to throw more light really on for we in academia to really access data has been like a tug of war. It has not been easy accessing data. Like the shared data has been more easier. They are more magnanimous with their data than other companies. It's easier to get it. But how can we use cloud? That if you want to do research, it is easy to just access it on the cloud. If you have the permission, just go online and access it. Than the process we are going through now is discouraging. Like now, for most times, recently, the students have lost interest in doing technique. They've gone to do other parts of geoscience, like maybe groundwater or resistivity that will not give them a lot of stress. When you ask them, they say, I don't want stress because for me to get the data, before I will get the data, it's already time for me to graduate. That means I'll have 1 year extension. So how can this cloud, how can we use cloud really so that all the companies will see to it? Maybe their data that is 5 years old or 10 years old, as the case may be, and drop it somewhere, like as you were saying, that hybrid or a public, so I will kindly access these things online. How can that really be done? Jake is here too. Maybe you need to throw more light on that from your end. Thank you.
Yes, okay. I think I may help. Emeka, just a second. I see
Yeah.
Dr. Jackson's hand up. Doc, is it on the same topic or something, question, or you want to something else?
No, a different question.
Okay, just pause. I think it'd be nice to clear this one and drop this before we go on. So let me just share my own experience with you, Prof, and other members of the academia here. NUPRI has a very clear program with respect to data sharing from the companies. And I think if you want data specifically, going through NUPRI is the easiest way, because if NUPRI gives the directive, we call it all data, and they even have copies of all data set. I think it's a quicker route, but it doesn't stop you from also engaging the industry or the companies, because I also think that they are all available and willing to help. So I will leave it at that.
We do that, sir. We do that, but at times it's difficult. Like at times, NUPRC will give you approval, but some companies, you won't get that data. You will still go front and back, you won't get that data. Even at the end of the day, if you are going to get that data, they've removed everything necessary that the data is more or less not useful for you.
And I think we need to work now. We have an industry body, which is NAPE here. I mean, and most of the people you are talking about are all members of NAPE. So if that's something we can also take, I don't know whether the president will have something to say later on when he's making some remarks around that. But I think if your problem, if the question, the issue you are raising up is a very important one, because we are not giving data to the community, to the young ones to learn. I don't know what we expect them to build the competencies to come back to the industry and going to keep the industry going. All right, so thanks. Just putting an eye on the clock. We'll probably come back to this topic if we have time, Emeka. But let me take Dr. Jackson's questions now. Jackson, please, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. My question is actually simple. I just need some clarity or indices. I quite appreciate the optimization and technology that is coming into data management holistically, but I need you to speak on number one. All other aspects of the advantage, I agree, but I need clarity on the cost saving. Now, between using the cloud and personal domain or any other domain, in terms of cost saving, is it really cheap? And on what parameter? Is it cheap on the basis of what, or is it compared to if you lose the data? Is that the aspect? But if there are other aspects, maybe you just share some light on it. The second aspect is around network service. You know, some of the arguments in most cases is that even in the industry, even those that subscribe to using the cloud for data storage or management, you still try to save it local, because for any reason, you can just wake up maybe half a day, you can't for any reason have strong network. So how do you blend, or what kind of advances have been recorded in terms of network service provision, you know, nationwide, that will support migration as we are advocating, for the use of technology? How have we also upgraded in terms of network service provision? Thank you. I just wanted to speak to those 2 points.
Okay. Yeah, Chairman, do I answer this or?
Yeah, just go straight to the point, to the 2 questions, which is around demonstrate or give us the cost profile, how it compares with in-premises existing systems, 1, at least for now. Then 2, the network support that we have generally, how robust it is. I think I raised that earlier as well. That's something to speak to from your own experience as a practitioner out there. And so those are the 2 major questions. And if you want to say add anything on the access to technology, specifically now, not just data, that Dr. Juliet and the academia are raising, and whatever advice you have, it will also be welcome. So over to you on those 3 before I come to the chat box again. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So Dr. Chris, okay, thank you so much. I know network is a challenge in the country. The providers we have, because every company has its own line of business. So, and there's collaboration to give the best out of what any challenge that might be faced in the industry. So what we do specifically in SLB is when a company actually want to use Delphi or cloud. Basically, we normally go there with our IT team to understand their latency domain. When we must have understood the latency domain, it will actually help us because first of all, we need to understand the background on before you actually give advice or know what to do. So I know latency is a big issue. If we found out that there's no good latency, for example, in a particular company, what we normally do is to recommend on what will actually be done. For example, yeah, there are some cables, for example, I tell you, you might be using in your company in terms of your network. Maybe there are some that are called, in cats. They're measured in cats. There are Cat 5, there are Cat 6, Cat 8, and so on and so forth. So maybe your company, they are using Cat 4, for example, and you want, because it works for you in normal work you're doing, you still think that that will help you in terms of the speed. When you have big data like heavy seismic, you will see that you'll be struggling. So when we come to your company, first of all, we identify all this, and then first of all, you need to upgrade to a higher cat that will actually help in the latency. One that is certified by us and you, and I will tell you to go on. And once we're able to tell you that, like I mentioned, you will have more than 90% efficiency in that. So that's that for the network. And then for the cost saving, if you look at your company and check how much you are spending in hardware you acquire for your operation day-to-day work. Hello. So
we're with you. We hear you.
Yes. Okay. So you will agree with me that you are spending money on hardware. So like I mentioned, that cloud environment, you subscribe, and that is pay as you go. So you don't need to buy any hard-end machine or workstation again. You don't need it. All you need to do is to have an interface, a kind of where you have a output. Yeah, you're outputting a device, have just small laptop or phone that is capable of, having kind of digital work to be done, Android and stuff like that. You work within that. You don't need, hard-end, you don't spend money again on hard-end machines. That's number one. Number two, because it's a collaborative environment. Okay. Yeah. So when you are saving time in your work, for example, you're also saving money For example, if you are planning your well, for example, you are planning your well, maybe a well that will be planned for 2 months, for example, and because of this collaborative environment, okay, you're able to plan the well within 1 week or 2 weeks, as the case may be. It has saved a lot of money for you. Why would you do that? Because you are looking at the surface and subsurface together. Okay, and you are looking at it in in real time using the AI and other scientific sometimes age technology within this cloud environment that will actually help you. Machine learning that will help you to shorten the time you spend in your daily work. So I give you these two examples, in terms of having help you to save costs and others also.
All right, thanks. I think we can take most of the conversations offline, but I think let me close out by asking this last set of questions that are in the chat box. Please just note them down, Emeka. The first one says, wildlife log and testing and well testing in offshore environment. Do you host them on cloud as well? And can the office access them in the course of more like live transmission and the analysis of well data as logging or let me say as you log? How can you get? Is it possible for those in the office to be able to have that on live access? I think that's what the question is about. A summary of that. If I'm not correct, please, Ejiro, please add your voice to it to make it clearer. Second question is, can you enumerate the third-party applications that are consumed that are available on Delphi? I think those were the two questions I can see still on the chat box. Last one just came in now. The last one I think is more for our ESCO to take a look at. It's around the same question we've all said earlier. Data availability for research is a good mine. I believe NAPI should step in and create a public debate with some industry for academia usage. So it's around the issue we discussed earlier. So not only data, but also applications, I think, and support with hardware. And I think Emeka's software online talk today, or the talk today, is something that can also help solve this problem on the long run. But so take those two questions, and I think after that I should hand over to Prof on the next item on the agenda. So over to you, Emeka.
Okay, so thank you so much. So, and the second one, the third-party applications, for example, like when I was explaining this architecture, I don't know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes, so I mentioned API gateway. So where I said API means application program interface. So this interface makes this technology open. So what I mean by open is that every technology through can be connected. Okay, because this is digital. So what happens is that as technology evolve and as cases come, there are algorithms that are continued to be built using AI. No matter how you look at it, it is cloud and cloud computing and infrastructure and operation is an evolving technology. So what normally happens here, because it's an open technology, you can connect any. All you need is understanding the technology involved, understanding the codings, and then you see, because it's open, you see how to connect that. So I tell you, it doesn't have any just limitation for just third party. And I don't want to start mentioning names of third party, but it's an open technology. It's an open technology. That's what I'll answer that one. So and the other one, whether you can do wireline log and testing in the cloud. Yeah, so cloud is used in so many things. Okay, so you can in the cloud you can do real-time monitoring. Within that, the most important thing in the cloud is data hosting and management. Okay, so when you have data hosted and management, and you will see that you are, for example, you have your data, wireline data, and doing your operations, you will see that you have a dashboard, even where this AI technology will be transmitting. Like we have what we call Agora, that will be actually be monitoring what you are doing right from production, the way it operates, your production, your rate of work you are doing, and things around that. So cloud is not something that you are actually like a picture sitting within the subsurface where you are. Rather, we are talking about data here. So it is the data that you actually have, that the cloud is hosting. It is the data that these interpretations are done, just like your normal interpretation. So what cloud will help you to do is to actually provide an enabling environment positioned to actually handle the operations you are doing using AI, using machine learning, and output it. It can even be looking at monitoring what you are doing in the dashboard. So cloud works with data, and with the data you have, you can actually monitor your data and your operations. Yes.
All right. So thanks again. I think a round of applause, virtual one this time for Emeka again. Emeka, on behalf of Prof and the Warri coordinating team and the corporate ESCO, really big thank you for what you have shared today. I think you've given us something to reflect on in our various spaces in the industry and opportunities that are open. I hope we'll be able to take the conversations from this platform and move and take it into the workspace and create all the necessary value. So thank you very much, Emeka. And over to you, Prof. Juliet. You're muted, just in case you're speaking.
Thank you so much, our chairperson. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. God bless you for taking that time to do this for us. So over to the president-elect. I don't know if you are there.
Yes, I can. I'm here and I can hear you.
Okay,
Confirm you can hear me as well.
Yeah, I can hear you. Just us appreciate the chairperson and the speaker. Then present the virtual plaque to the speaker.
That's okay. No, many thanks, my Warri chapter coordinator. Again, before I appreciate the chairman and the speaker, I again want to really say a very big thank you to yourself, Professor Juliet, yourself and the entire executives that are running the Warri chapter. I think you guys have been doing quite excellently. I know I said similar thing about just a month ago, because you've deployed all kinds of platform, be it the physical, be it the virtual or the hybrid, to be able to continue to deliver what NAPE is known for, which is sharing knowledge. And today is not an exception. And you can see from the comments and the quite engaging session we've had is also because you've enabled it. So I really want to say big thank you, Prof, for the hard work you've been doing just to ensure that the ambition of NAPE continues to thrive and deliver what we are to excel. And again, our ideas continue to find oil and gas, but not just that, also idea to make sure that it's also in a safe cloud infrastructure, as you've just done today. So thank you very much. And then before I come to the speaker and then present the plaque, just to say special thank you. So when I joined, I told I was going to join late. When I joined, and of course, I knew our own Ezekwelu was going to chair this. Again, excellent moderation and chairing. So he's a strong supporter of NAPE, right? Both in and out, in and out, both from in and when I say in, from Shell system, a lot of stuff you see and the support we get out there, a lot of, support are being given internally. And I think Jake has been at the forefront of that. But also now, very recently, again, putting a square peg in a square hole, strongly sitting in and representing Port Harcourt chapter in the advisory council, which is a very important council for the association. He's been doing that quite well as well. So I really want to say a very big thank you to Ezekwelu for all you've been doing for NAPE, but also today in particular. Again, you've got a lot of experience in this area. As you mentioned, computing and managing our data sets in this kind of cloud environment is something dear to your heart. And no surprise is why you were able to connect easily to the topic of the day. So I really want to say big thank you, Jake, for chairing this session. And again, you also have a strong commitment, right? I know advisory council for the next 3 years. So these days, I know you don't say no, but anytime we call you anywhere, even at very most inconveniencing time, you cannot really say no because you really have a stake in this. So thank you very much, Jake Emapo, on behalf of the executive. And to yourself now, Emeka, Ezekwelu, right? It's amazing, how seamlessly you were able to carry every single one of us on this call along, and the way the appetite on the reason why we have to step up our game and take advantage of the cloud infrastructure, not just about the benefits, but also demonstrating that indeed it's working and we have no choice. And that has actually activated a lot of questions, which even is now saying we, the ESCO, have to do something. And I'm sure the president is still on the call. I also see a couple of few other ESCOs on the call as well, including Professor Juliet, a chapter coordinator, who is part of the ESCO. So I think in one way or the other, we need to find a way to take this a bit forward, getting the government. And again, you normally mention your tripartite, government, academia, and industry. So I think it's something we need to do in this regard. But a very big thank you for the presentation today. I think it's been excellently done. Again, we know what you can do, and therefore, not surprising you're able to deliver today. And I'm sure you continue to deliver for NAPE, even in future in different endeavors. So a big thank you. And on that note, I want to now, on behalf of the NAPE Executive Committee, alongside with the backing of the Board of Trustee and Advisory Council, to say thank you. And there is going to be a plaque. I don't know if there's a digital copy, Prof, but on the display. But if not on display, I can be rest assured that it will also come digitally across to you. It's going to find its way through the cloud, right, in a safe manner. So nothing is going to happen to it. It's quite secure. So, and the network we have, we don't need a heavy network to be able to get this one to go through to yourself. So I really want to say a big thank you. It looks like, Prof, you were off for a second. Okay, she's trying to reconnect. But thank you very much, Emeka, as for what you've done today. And please accept our appreciation from the entire ESCO members, but also Warri chapter in particular. So thank you very much. I think with that, I see, Prof, you're just getting back again now. It looks like you were out for a second. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yes. Okay. Now I see what happened. Yes, I was gonna. So thank you that at least you can see that it's your plaque hasn't disappeared anywhere. So this is the power of I believe also the cloud, right? Because it's not even if your light goes off, when it comes back, it's still intact. So this is now a word of appreciation presented to yourself, Emeka Ezekwelu, who is the account manager for Schlumberger, Nigeria and West Africa, who today is a speaker at our monthly technical and business meeting for the month of May for a Warri chapter. But again, with a wider audience across the country and globally. And this is courtesy of Nigerian Association of Petroleum Exploration, in which you are a member. And of course, our dear Warri chapter executives sponsoring this. So thank you once more. And back to you, Professor Juliet. You are muted if you're speaking, Prof.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now perfectly well.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for stepping to help us handle that. So we'll be going over to the announcement, but before we go, please don't log out. I plead to everybody, don't log out. We have a group photograph at the end. So let's take the announcement quickly. Lucky, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Good evening, all.
Okay, just quick one, just go ahead.
Okay, good evening, all.
We can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening. We can hear you. Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, once more, we thank our guest speaker, Mr. Emeka Ezekwelu, for his wonderful presentation. Let me just rush the announcement as the slides close. Yeah, this is announcing for the 2024 NAPE Annual International Conference and Exhibitions. We are urging members to kindly get prepared and register for early birds. The dates and the topic and the is there. Next slide. Yeah, the conference team is resolving the energy. Then this call for abstracts. We are urging members, those in academia, students, to kindly explore this and submit their abstracts as earlier. The dates and teams are all enclosed on the flyers. Next slide. Yeah. Space for the NAPI AICE exhibition floor is open. Kindly reach out to the NAPI secretariat for booking for placements where you can exhibit your products and services. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, we are urging all professionals to kindly explore this and pay up their dues. Yeah, your membership dues defines your membership of this great association. The details, the bank accounts and everything and the emails are there. Or you can reach out to our chapter executives. Monthly technical meeting sponsorship opportunities. The technical and business monthly meetings sponsorship opportunity are now to partner with NAPA to host technical meetings. So we are calling on companies and corporate bodies to sponsor at least a technical meeting for each chapter. Next slide. Yeah, MEPA NAPE membership dues. The rates are there for student members, active members, associate members, and corporate members. Next slide. This NAPE Warri chapter executive. So meet your chapter executive, the chapter coordinator, the deputy coordinator, and the rest of the teams. Group photographs.
So today, help us with the group photograph. Can we on our videos? Let's do the group photograph before Dr. Wilson will do vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. Go do the group photograph. Thank you. Sorry for disturbing you people.
Hello, today, are you there? Can we put on our video so we can do a group photograph? So when we do our reporting can be top notch.
Yes, you can go ahead and put up the videos.
Please let us, most people have dropped us, let us put on our videos.
No, some people are declining to put up their videos.
It's okay, you can snap, their names will show. Their names will show. So once you are done, let us know. Are you done? Hello, today, are you done? Oh, my video is not showing. Just...
No, let's hold on.
Can you see my video? It's like...
You can stop sharing your screen first.
No, just a minute. Okay, it's up now, it's up now. Can go ahead. Are you done?
The videos are not actually showing. I can only see Professor Juliet here.
Why? I can see Ezekwelu is showing. I can see Lucky. I can see Emeka. I can see you. I can see President. I can see Dr. Wilson. I can see PE. PS. Oh, Able PS is there. I can see. So why are you not seeing from your end? Please just bear with us just a minute.
It's just coming up. I think it's network.
Okay. Okay.
You can also try and do screenshot.
I'm having a new laptop. I don't know how to do that from this laptop.
I've done the ones shown from here.
No. So are you done?
It's okay.
Today, let's see this screenshot because we need it for our report. It's okay.
It's okay. It's just that some of them are not showing.
But their names are showing. So you are done. Are
It's
you
okay.
through? It's okay. Okay. So thank you so much. So over to you, Dr. Wilson, F. Nappy.
Done.
Okay, thank you so much. Dr. Wilson, also F. Nappy. Vote of thanks. Are you there? Dr. Wilson, are you there? You are muted. You are muted.
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. We can see you too.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes. It has indeed been almost 2 hours of learning and engagement from Mr. Emeka, telling us about cloud management and storage. It's been a very topical issue, and we appreciate you for all that you have done for NAPE, and we believe that we'll be seeing more of you in time to come. I want to use this opportunity to thank everyone on this call that has made our time to be a part of this particular event, honoring the NAPE Warri chapter, one of the outstanding chapters in the NAPE community, most especially our president, Mr. Abiodun Ogunjobi, F. NAPE, who has been on the call right from the beginning. We also want to acknowledge our vice president, Mr. Eyi Bazwaye, who is also F. NAPE. We acknowledge the presence of the president-elect, Mr. John Bosco Uche, F. NAPE. We appreciate all other schools that have been on the call. I think I saw Dr. Harry at one time. I also saw Dr. Mala. I saw the PS, Austin Bemere. And I also saw some fellows that were on the call. I saw Dr. Ofoma on the call. We had a good and quality time discussing this issue. We appreciate most especially the chairman of this session, Mr. Jake Emakpo, to have handled this topic very, very well with his own wealth of experience, navigated the discussion and also the Q&A. We are indeed very grateful. And we thank the NAPE Warri executive to have come up with such a wonderful topic and also clocking in this calendar for this year. And without the audience, the participant that we had on this call, we would have had a very robust technical and business meeting for the month of May. And we believe that in time to come, we'll be having many more, and we believe that you also be a part of this NAPE Warri chapter technical and business meetings in future. Thank you very much for your time, and I pray that the Lord will continue to be with us all in all our endeavors in Jesus' name. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wilson. Thank you so much. God bless you. So we'll draw the curtain here. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. I saw Professor Wanjide at a point too, Professor Adedosu, Dr. Julius Onwonka. So you guys, thank you so much. So we'll draw the curtain here. Oga Jake, thank you. I can't say thank you enough for agreeing to share this. God bless you. We appreciate you. Emeka, thank you so much. Emeka, thank you for doing this for Warri chapter. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Prof.